Give me their proper name first, and then he's asking me to call him Joe, so that's okay. He's a funny character. He's laughing. That's funny. He's excited about talking to you. Is he your best friend, honey? Because he just makes me feel like he wants to hug you. And when you were doing this, saying don't go anywhere, he was saying that's nothing out of the ordinary, and that's how I know that's how you were when he was here as a husband. Do you understand it? Perfect. I promise I'll come back down to you guys in just a minute, but I'm just going to go ahead and take him real quick while I have him, since she's telling him not to go. Perfect. All right, I'm asking him to come over and stand beside me. Okay, this is the first time this has ever happened, and I'm laughing at him right now. But he's standing beside me, and he goes, "I will gladly come stand beside you. You're a pretty little lady." And he just put his arm around my shoulder. First time that's ever happened. I said, "You need to go." I told him, I just said to him, "You need to go stand by your wife." He's walking. It was him picking. I've never had anyone do that. That's so funny. He's funny. Do you understand why he's cutting my breathing off, honey? He's really cutting my breathing off. Okay. Do you understand it? Okay, good. So that's how I know there's major complications with the breathing in the end. So if he gets into that's wonderful. I just feel like there's a lot of pressure. I feel like there's complications with the lungs, and he's cutting my breathing off. Do you understand it? Perfect. And what's with the month of July? He keeps saying July, 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 July. Perfect, good. So his son is still here? Because he keeps saying to me, I watch over him, so that's how I know that he's still in this earth plane. Do you understand it? You need to tell that son that he's saying happy birthday and that he's going to be there that day in spirit with him. Do you understand? Perfect. Because he keeps saying to me, I'm allowed to call him Joe. I know you understand the breathing complications, so it's his way of making me feel the health before the passing. Do you understand it? Perfect. And then all of a sudden, I kept getting July, and I was watching it not only be spelled out in front of me, but he was saying it, and I knew it went to someone that he's very proud of here. So not only is it a message for you today, but it's a message for that son, maybe even possibly about guidance for his life. So I'm just going to wait and see what he says. Do you understand? Were you with him all the way up until the end? Because he's just said to me, my wife saw me through everything, and she was there with me when I went. Do you understand it? Perfect. So that's how I know that you're with him. I feel like I want to hold him. Was he in your arms? Perfect. Good. That's it. That's it. Perfect. When they make me feel that, it just means that you're close and you're right beside them, or they're actually laying in your arms at the moment it happens. Do you understand it? Good. I know I always told her how much she meant to me, but I know I never did it enough. Do you understand it? Perfect. What's with the number 2? He keeps saying 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. What's with the other marriage? He said, I'm the only one standing here today, but is he husband 1 or 2? Okay, because he kept saying to me, the first one's not here. Do you understand it? Hey, I don't control what they do. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they decide to stay on the other side. He's just the one talking today. He's saying to me, I'm laughing at him because I'm like, are you sure you want me to repeat this? And he said, yes, because she'll know it's me by saying this. I said, okay. I'm asking him to put it in plainer terms. thought she would be happy to talk to me. Tell her he's not always at my hip. Just because she had him doesn't mean he's attached to me all the time. I'm like, did you really just say that? He said, yes. Did they know each other? Your husbands?
Know each other up there because she told us.
Okay. Did they know each other here? Because he makes me feel the separation. Do you understand it? So it's his way of saying he's not spending all his time with him. So what he chooses to do and not coming through and talking, then that's his choice. Do you understand it? Meaning he's saying, I'm the one that's here, I'm talking today. Perfect. I'm just listening to him. He's so funny. This is what I'm going to say to you. I think it was just his way of getting my attention really quick. Because he wanted a chance just to kind of say hello to you and say that he's still watching over you. But I feel like it goes to the sun today, and that's okay, because that's why he was saying July to me. Meaning it's his way of wishing him happy birthday, and you need to tell them that he's with him in spirit. Meaning he's going to be spending the day with him, which is wonderful. So it just means he needs to watch for the signs, okay? Okay, perfect. Turmoil. I keep getting turmoil and struggle. You're trying to decide if you should do this or support her. Do you understand it? Do you understand when he's saying that? He said there's turmoil and there's struggle. He's standing just beside you. He puts his hands up like this and he goes, she doesn't know if she needs to do this or support her. Because it's been on and off for years. Do you understand it? Are you waiting for her to get her priorities straight in life? Because he keeps saying to me the priorities are in a circle, meaning that she struggles with some of the things that she's going through. Do you understand it? And he keeps doing this, which means it's a downhill spiral. What's with the taking in? What's with the taking in? He keeps saying taking in. Have you taken her in before? Okay, perfect. So that's what he's talking about. Because I just feel there's a downhill spiral, and he keeps saying to me she doesn't know if she should do this or give the support, and then he keeps saying take in, and I feel like she's entering your home. Do you understand it? Is that something that you want to do? Okay, because he keeps saying to me the priorities aren't there, and I feel like I'm all over the place. He's saying, because you're worried about if you should do it yourself or do a facility. Okay, that's it. That's why he's making me feel the circle and making me feel priorities are all over the place, because you don't know what to do and what needs to be the major priority with her, and that the priorities in her life are not really there, and that's why I feel they're all over the place. Do you understand it? Because it's not only about the personal function for her, but it's about your personal function as to if you should take her in or if you should put her into a full-time care. Do you understand it? Okay, that's why he's saying take in. Do you understand it? Okay, good. My wife has thought about taking her in, but she has concerns if she's going to be able to handle it by herself. Do you understand it? And then he's showing me the fan of money, so you're worried about the financial as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is what I'm going to say to you. He makes me feel like there's a part of you that feels if you put her in a facility, you're giving up on her. And there's a part of you that wants to take care of her, but you know you can't offer her everything that you could do yourself, which means you would have to have care come into the home. Do you understand it? Okay. Because he's making me see scrub pants, and I feel like it's a hospice situation. So that's why he was saying take in before, because the question is on your mind about taking her in. Do you understand it? Okay, good. Tell her whatever she decides, I support her. I know she wants her to live with her because she would feel better about it, because she wants to make sure that she's taken care of, but she knows she can't handle it on her own. Do you understand it? So he's making me feel that's the priority you're leaning towards. Remember how he said priorities are spinning all around? Is that the one you've been leaning towards? Because he keeps saying to me, he sees that's what's in your heart. So that's why I'm asking you if you acknowledge and recognize that that's how you're truly feeling right now. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. Because you could still have the help. You would still have her present with you. But it makes me feel like it would be too much on you to do all your own. Do you understand it? And I think that's part of the reason why he was saying take in too. This is what I'm going to suggest to you. Okay? He said, I know how hard it is on her. I know this is a question that she's had on her mind. I see in her heart that she won't feel the same if she puts her in a facility. Do you understand it? Honey, that's why he was saying that. Meaning it's the first priority of the spinning that he was making me feel. Okay? So it's his way of acknowledging that try the in-home care first. I just got all this energy. And he just said, tell her she'll have the support. She can have people come in and medically care for her, because either one is going to be a financial burden. Have her do the in-home care so she can at least be with her, so she doesn't regret anything in case something happens. Do you understand it? Perfect. Is that what's weighing on your mind? Because he said the thing that's weighing on her mind the most is if she puts her in a facility and she passes and she's not there, she will never be able to forgive herself. Do you understand that? Honey, I can't tell you that because that's God's plan. Okay? Okay? But what I'm going to say to you is start the in-home care. Get the support you need. He keeps saying to me, I don't want it to be too much stress on her. That's why I kept saying take in. And then I could see scrub pants walking in, like walking into the house. Do you understand it? It just means you should take her in for now so you can be there, because he makes me feel like you'll regret if something happens. Do you understand it? If it gets too hard, there's always the option of the facility placement afterwards. It's his way of saying, try that first, and then the facility can come later if it's something you need to choose. He makes me feel like if you go directly towards the facility, it's something you're going to regret. Do you understand it? But you need to make sure that you have the round-the-clock care to be able to take care of her as well. Because he's saying to me, whether it's the facility or whether it's home, the financial burden is going to be the same. Do you understand? It's not that it's down to the dime or the same amount of money. It's just about that it is a huge burden to take on. Do you understand it? Okay. I'm asking him if he wants to say anything else besides the take-in. Tell her to tell him I love him. Tell him I said happy birthday. Again, this is the message I was feeling for the sign, okay? Let him know that I'll be there. What I'm going to suggest to you and what he's making me feel is to try the in-home take care first, because that's why he kept saying take in, meaning take her into your home. Do you understand it? And I just feel like the priorities are on this big spinning wheel, and that's why he kept saying the priorities are all over the place, meaning your priorities are all over the place, because at first I thought he was talking about the daughter. It's about you making these decisions and where the priority needs to lie and where it needs to start, because it's a big decision to kind of be put into your hands as far as you making the decision. Do you understand it? Can I ask you a question? So, do you pray for God to take her? Because he just said to me, I see my wife pray to God to take her because she doesn't want her to be in pain and be suffering anymore, and she just wants her to finally be able to have the peace. Do you understand it? That's what he just said. That's what he just said. So I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but they make me feel, even though she's not there, which is the scattering I was feeling earlier, that I feel like she's already making connections with them on the other side, which means her physical body is here on this plane, but her spiritual is just back and forth between the two. Do you understand it? Good. So it just means that they're already starting to make connections with her. And he keeps saying to me, she needs to know that I stand beside the bed and watch over her. Do you understand that? Perfect. Where is she now? He keeps saying home, home, home. And he keeps saying to me, I walk around the house, and he's doing this, meaning he's making me feel like he's just walking around the house. He keeps saying, I stand right beside the bed and I watch her. It's just his way of validating that he's trying to make connections with her from the other side already, and that they're already there. And it's also your way of knowing that if her time does come before yours, that they're going to be there to greet her. And they're already making me feel there's a part of her soul that is already at a restful, peaceful place, because part of her really isn't even there. It's just the natural progression of the body shutting down, and when God takes her, God takes her. Do you understand? Because that's God's timing and no one else's. Now, have I known before? When I first started this gift, when I was a child, I could look at somebody and know what age they were going to be and how they were going to pass, and then it would happen. That's how it started for me. But it was not fun. And I still know things like that. I'll feel cancer in somebody before they even get it. And it's really, really, really hard for me. So I remember sitting in Spanish class when I was a senior, now 22 years ago. So let's not date myself too much. Actually, longer than that. I was sitting in Spanish class, and there was this boy, his name was Mike, and he walked by me, and I got his age, and I knew he died in a car accident. Sure enough, it happened that following winter, and that's how old he was when he passed. That's just one of the examples. So it was a really hard word for me in the beginning, because I could never cross that line. Now, even though I knew and I felt it, sometimes I'm given the information and sometimes I'm not. Everything is in God's plan, because I didn't know what month or what day. So sometimes I will know the month, but I'll never know the day or the time. So what I'm going to say to you is that he was saying take in, because it's what you need to start with as far as the moment now. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. And then if you feel or if you choose that it's too hard, then you can make the adjustment. And that's okay. Do you understand it? Do you have help now? Because he keeps saying to me, she has help, but not as much as she should. She's trying to do too much on her own still. Do you understand it? That's why he kept showing me the scrub pants, saying that you needed more round-the-clock care, that you're taking too much on. Do you think you're taking too much on? And that's part of the reason why you're trying to decide if you should put her in a facility. Do you understand it? He just said to me, I could never really tell her what to do because she did her own thing anyway. Does that sound familiar, hon? I do whatever I want to do. Do you understand why he's saying that? Okay, perfect. Good. So it's just his way of giving you a little bit of guidance. And that's why I was saying to you, and what he said before is, you have to make the decision. He's going to support you, but here he's offering the guidance at least. So that's why he had to make me feel the spinning wheel with the priorities, because that's what it is for you. One day you're like, I should keep her. The next day you're looking at facilities. The next day you're like, I don't know what to do. And I just feel like I'm on this constant spinning wheel as to where do the priorities stop and where does this decision be made. Do you know what I mean by that? Good. He just said, I love you. Who's the namesake? Who's the namesake? Who else is Joseph? Okay. Remember how I said I was feeling Joseph before and there was a wife with him? Well, they came along and they're saying hello. That's okay. They're here. They're not stepping in with him. But remember how I said before, I'm getting a Joseph and then I'm being told there's a wife tie? Meaning there was a wife in spirit with him when I first started to open up before? Perfect. And now he's making me feel that you're his wife, but they're here with him. So it's just their way of acknowledging that they're passing love to you as well when they're with him today, okay? I'm going to ask him if there's anything else he wants to say, because I'm being told I only have another minute with him. He's, this is what I'm going to say to you. My wife is a very strong, loving woman. She always has been. She's always known when things were a good decision. But I understand how hard this is for her, because it's different, because it's the daughter. Do you understand it? Meaning it's just his way of saying that he knows that it's hard for you and that he supports the decision you make. It's his way of saying you would have made the right decision. And it's just his way of kind of giving you guidance towards that, because